right, so I'm just feeling an immense amount of gratitude right now, and I wanted to capture this moment. I finished my 20 days of prednisone. I guess this is my second day, no, my third day off of it. I'm just feeling so much gratitude sitting here that I had the energy on the prednisone. I mean, it gives me wild amounts of energy at the very start, and it's a tapered dose, so my energy kind of falls with it. But I was able to be social and catch up with a lot of friends, make some new friends. Yesterday was my mom's birthday, so I was off the prednisone, but we still had such a fun time. And I was able to get a lot of projects done on the prednisone, you know, a lot of projects that, my arm's getting tired, I gotta set you here. A lot of projects that have been on my list for like years. So one of them was this poetry book that I hadn't finished for my mom since 2013. I just hadn't finished binding it with a Coptic stitch. So I did that, and I finished some other projects, did some other creative stuff like making like a photo cube out of like glossy photo paper. That was really cool and I wanted to do it for a while. Yeah, just a bunch of other stuff that felt so good. I'm just so grateful for those 20 days. I was really expecting like a crazy crash off of the prednisone where I kind of feel depressed because I'm back to a really low level of functioning where I just have such bad chronic fatigue and stuff. But actually, I just feel a lot of gratitude. And I think playing games with my parents yesterday for my mom's birthday really helped to just have a really nice, relaxing day. And it's going back to such a slower way of life, and you know, I'm not expecting to get crazy amounts of stuff done because I know my capability off the prednisone. It is very, very low. And so if I get my morning routine done, which is all my PT, all my physical therapy, all of my vagus nerve exercises, all of the stretching I do and the other stuff, the lymphatic drainage stuff, my morning routine is like really long, but I know what helps me. So if I do that, then I feel better in the day. And so like just getting my morning routine done takes so long, and so if I get it done, I'm grateful for it. And so I was just sitting here at my desk watching a Sorel Amour video. Sorry, I have cat hair all over my nose. Perks of living with a cat, and she loves you, so she puts cat hair on you. I was just sitting here and just like really appreciating being surrounded by things I love, like this room. This room I love so freaking much. You know what, I'm gonna put you down here because my arm was getting really tired, but like it's a really dreary day outside, so I needed to put all the lamps on in my room just to help with my mental state. But I'm just like so freaking grateful. I was eating a Clio bar, like I have food that I absolutely love. Like the gratitude for even the slower way of life where I just like don't have the energy to do hardly anything. Like today I need to finish editing this week's vlog and go to therapy, and that will be my day. So being on the prednisone, having go, 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 and then the slower way of living, I have gratitude for both. I got so much done. I felt like superwoman. I was able to be so social on the prednisone, and then off the prednisone, I embraced the slower way of living. I embraced only being able to do one thing a day, because if I do more than that, my fatigue goes crazy, my autism, I get super overstimulated and overwhelmed, and I just go into survival mode. And so listening to my body, that's a huge one. On the prednisone, I was kind of just go, 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 trying to get done as much as I can because I don't pay for it as much. Like I don't crash on the prednisone like I do off the prednisone. And so it was just go, go, go. And then being off the prednisone and really tuning back into my body, grounding myself in my practices, feeling more spiritual, embracing that slowness in my morning routine and not rushing through my morning routine, because on the prednisone I would kind of rush through it to get done as much as I could during the day. And just like embracing that slowness, I just feel like just so much gratitude. And then being inspired by people like Sorel, you know, watching YouTube videos as breaks to rest between like editing or going to therapy. Yeah, just that slower way of life. I'm so grateful to be able to do that when my health is not good. And just, you know, that slow creative consumption, being able to do creative things, you know, like editing my vlog, being able to do my morning routine, having food to eat, that makes me feel good. Being surrounded by the people I love, my parents and my community, like talking and trying to catch up with as many friends as possible while I was on the prednisone was so fun. I definitely miss being social, but off the prednisone, it just, one call, like one 1 hour call would exhaust me for a whole day. And so when I was able to do multiple calls on the prednisone, especially at the beginning when I had more energy, that just felt amazing to reconnect with people. And I miss that. I miss that so much. So I just wanted to kind of come on here and talk about this feeling of gratitude. There was a little bit of grief at the end of the prednisone when I was taking it and I was starting to feel my energy like leaking out of me, kind of, because you start at 20 milligrams and then every 5 days you go down 5 milligrams. And so by the time it got to like 10 milligrams, I was really starting to feel, if I did something social, I would kind of be exhausted. And so it was really tough to go from being the Energizer Bunny on 20 milligrams and then starting to feel that energy just leak out of me and go away. And it was this grief of like, oh, now I'm gonna have to go back to such a slower way of life when you can only do one thing a day, and most of that is doctor's appointments and acupuncture and things, you know, like my vlog takes a whole day. Like basically my whole September is already full, and it's just really hard to also add in social things. And yeah, just to have a well-rounded life feels impossible when you're only able to do one thing a day. And so I did grieve that a lot. I thought I was going to grieve it right after I stopped my last dose of the prednisone, but instead I was grieving it while I was still on the prednisone, actually. And so it was just tough, but I did have a lot of side effects from the prednisone as well. A lot of GI symptoms that were really, really bad. It definitely messed up my sleep, and my restless legs were horrible on the prednisone, and so sleep was really tough. So I'm excited this week to kind of get back to hopefully a little bit better sleep, although at some point, right now I'm taking 2 Benadryl a night to sleep, and at some point I need to go off of that. So that's down the road. But then also just thinking about what's next. Like, you know, my joint pain, it didn't help a lot. Like the prednisone, I went on the prednisone this time for my hip pain, and my hip pain is better for sure. It's not gone, you know, and I'm in physical therapy for it. But this last spring when I was on 20 days of prednisone, same dosage and everything, my hand pain felt a lot better. Like the back of my fingers hurt a lot. And at the end of those 20 days this last spring, my finger pain, it was so much better. And this time, possibly because I have so much inflammation in my body just as it is, my finger pain is still pretty bad. It's just tough because it didn't, you know, necessarily help some of those things that I was hoping, because last time it helped with. And so the question is just what's next? What's next for my Sjogren management? So they really want me to try Plaquenil, which is hydroxychloroquine. And I'm thinking about it a lot more now that I've had all these joint problems, like the hip pain. That was really, really bad and just felt like it came out of nowhere. And so I really need to kind of consider all the things that I need to try and then in what order to try them. The Benadryl, my PCP was like, okay, we need to go off of this and we need to find like a healthier replacement than Benadryl, which is supposed to be really bad for your brain, actually. They figured out. I need to find a replacement for that, but she said you might go through some really, really bad sleep while you're trying to do that. The Plaquenil, when you go on it, it can take up to 3 months to notice any changes. And so I would need to leave 3 months to try as that be my only new thing, because we all know how sensitive I am to even supplements, and this is a really intense med, so that would be the only thing I tried during that time. And I have a bunch of other things that I had on the list to try as well for my stomach, for different stuff for my joint pain. So that's a question. It's like what to do next in my journey. So I see my rheumatologist next week, and hopefully she will have more thoughts on kind of the direction to go next. I think she'll want me to try the Plaquenil. So it's kind of stressful, that part, the thinking about what's next and just how many choices there are out there and stuff. But I'm really grateful. Tomorrow I have acupuncture, and this acupuncturist has just been amazing, and some of my symptoms have improved with her treatments. It's a vagus nerve toning or a vagal nerve toning. Last treatment, our car broke down on the way home, and we were on the side of like a major highway, and it was incredibly stressful. And so I didn't feel like I got the full benefit of the acupuncture treatment because I was immediately super, super stressed. And so I'm really excited for this treatment tomorrow. to hopefully just fully like continue to add to this feeling of gratitude. And yeah, just so much gratitude for where I'm at. Even though my functioning is super low, I feel like I have got to this place of just like radical acceptance of where I'm at, and this is just where it is right now. And if things change, great, that would be amazing. I would love for things to get better, right? For my health to improve, although all the medical things I have, there's no cure, it's just symptom management, right? But you know, my symptoms could get a little bit better, that'd be great. However, I'm not like focusing on that, because that has just led to disappointment when you have expectations of certain things happening. So I'm trying to really keep my expectations very low and really just radically accept like where I'm at right now and the symptoms I have and the position I'm in, and really focusing on the gratitude part of that radical acceptance. Like, I'm so grateful that I have this incredible room with beautiful lighting, so on a rainy day I can have amazing lighting in my room and still feel warm and cozy and have a roof over my head. I have food that I can eat, you know, I have baby and my other cats at my mom's house, and I have my parents, and I have a community of people that when I have energy and I reach out, they want to talk, and that's like amazing, and that feels so good. And so it's just like really trying to focus on that gratitude part. I'm so grateful for this channel, for you watching right now, because this channel through all my health stuff has been my purpose, my passion. I love filming, I love sharing my story. This is almost a form of therapy for me, processing out loud. It's like a video scrapbook of my life. It serves so many purposes. I love editing, even though it takes a really long time sometimes. I just love the meditative process of it. And then I love watching other YouTubers, other people who share their story, a lot of like vloggers, people who just talk candidly to a camera without a lot of high production or editing. I love being inspired by them, and then I get inspired to share more parts of my story. And then when it connects with people, and when people comment on my videos and say, wow, something resonated with what you said, that makes it all worth it for me. And so really just kind of honing in on that passion part and that feeling of purpose with my channel, with other things like my writing and the Substack that I want to work on, with other creative projects like my hobbies like watercolors. I haven't done watercolors in a couple months. I really want to get back to watercolors. So just a feeling of just intense gratitude in where I'm at right now. Even though it is not where I ever wanted to be or thought I would be, I really wish my functioning were a lot higher and I were able to do a lot more. But I'm so grateful for the prednisone and for those 20 days to be able to get some stuff done and catch up on my life, and now just settle back into, again, a much kind of lower quality of life, lower function, but really trying to embrace the radical acceptance of that. So thanks for listening to me just kind of in this moment talking really raw and vulnerably to you. This is the kind of story and the kind of, I guess, video style that I like watching. So I hope something resonated with you, and maybe you can feel my gratitude for you through the screen, like a little hug. If I could hug you, I would. I love hugs, but I'm just so thankful for everything right now. And I'm capturing this moment, so if things get worse, I can look back on this and be like, wow, this was a beautiful moment, and we're grateful for that moment that I had. So thanks for being here, my friends, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.